Recently, I got into this ROM hack that's actually been out for a while now, and it has 15 new custom power-ups added to Super Mario World. So I decided why not just rank them all, because there are some really good choices for them, and some of them being from other games like New Super Mario Bros. For example, and some of them just being entirely new. With this video, keep in mind, is not going to be counting the power-ups that are already in the official game, only the custom ones. So without further ado, let's get started. 15. Frog Suit. It returns from Super Mario Bros. 3. It's really annoying to walk on land and it takes so long to move. For example, it swims good in the water, but it swims really fast, and if you're not careful, you're likely gonna die. And you also can't use Yoshi for some reason whenever you have the suit. So it's my least favorite. It's most of the time not a bad suit, for example, but it's not the best in the whole ROM hack, obviously. 14. Mini Mushroom. It's what you would expect. Coming from New Super Mario Bros., it's faster than your regular everyday Mario, and it has a higher jump, unsurprisingly. You can't run on walls like you could in New Super Mario Bros. U, and if you try to jump on enemies, it won't stop the enemies if you're a small or big Mario, for example. And this isn't on the script, and I didn't test this out, but I think you might die as if you were small Mario immediately when you touch an enemy. 13. Super Ball. Returning from Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, the Super Ball replaced the Fire Flower in Super Mario Land. Sadly, it doesn't collect coins when you throw them like the original did. It acts just as the Fire Flower, but it bounces around, of course. But they bounce around for like 3 years if you don't hit an enemy, which is kind of different from the original game, because in the original game they didn't bounce around for too long. But of course, like I said before, in this ROM hack they bounce around for like 3 years, and it's really annoying. 12. Bubble Suit. It's one of the new power-ups to this ROM hack. The Bubble Suit acts as Blue Baby Yoshi in New Super Mario Bros. U, when you can use the bubbles. If you hit an enemy, it turns into coins. It's not the most useful, that's why it's really high on the list. 11. Cloudflare. From Super Mario Galaxy 2, you only have one cloud, and if you use it, it's gonna respawn, and it, of course, it's gonna take a while. They disappear after using them for like 2.5 seconds. You can't use it unless you jump, so it's not my favorite particularly. It's not that much of a bad suit, but honestly, it did not live up to my expectations. 10. Hover Suit. It's one of the new power-ups to the ROM hack again. It's very similar to the Cloudflare. You basically have to jump and press B, and then you can hover in the air for like 2 or 3 seconds. And when I say hover, I don't mean hover. The suit doesn't have an official name that I'm aware of, so it's more so just a character hovering up into the air. Not really just hovering like Lego Batman freaking. 9. Cat Suit. Coming from Super Mario 3D World, it's one of the abilities from the original. You can scratch and climb. You can't scratch after jumping in the air, and you can't dip down like you could in the original suit. You also can't run up things like pink stumps. That's hardly even a problem because you can climb, which kind of defeats the purpose of those pink stumps, so you don't even really have to run up the walls in the first place. But if the wall is too big, you might not be able to climb up all the way. I'm not sure because I actually haven't tested it out. 8. Ice Flower. Coming from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, it's basically the same. If you hit an enemy with your ice ball, they turn into a block of ice. Depending on the shape of the enemy, there's going to be a coin in the ice. So if you break it, you can get a coin out of it. So it's more useful than, say, the Fire Flower, even though we're not counting that. It would be more useful, but it's not my favorite, obviously. 7. Penguin Suit. This is the frog and ice flower combined into one power-up. You can walk regularly on land, which is better than the frog suit. You can also shoot ice and swim better in water. So with that being said, it's better than the 2 power-ups. 6. Blue Shell. Coming from New Super Mario Bros. Like the Mini Mushroom, of course, it works very similar to the original. After getting your running start, you can start spinning around in the level in your shell. You can kill enemies, but you can't break the baseballs that some of the enemies will throw at you. So I'd recommend being pretty careful, and if you see any of these football-looking guys, just jump immediately. That's like the only thing I have to say. Just jump immediately. 5. Propeller Suit. The final suit coming from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, it's what you would expect from the suit. It's mostly used to find secrets in the game, like finding moons or getting into some secret levels that would normally require the kit to discover, and some of them are actually impossible without the custom suits to my knowledge, meaning Nintendo probably put these secrets here and it's downright impossible to get to them. I'm not completely sure, honestly, but I mean, I did see this one secret. I'll try to put it in the video if I don't forget. 4. The hammer suit. Coming from Super Mario Bros. 3, 2 of the upcoming suits are also going to be from that game, so I'm not going to explain which game they come from, so keep that in mind. The hammer suit functions exactly the same. Besides, now you can slide on slopes when the original, you couldn't slide down on them. The hammers are bigger, and the arch isn't quite as big, and it's way easier to hit enemies, with that being said. And if there's an enemy that shoots fire up into the air, for example, you can crouch and protect yourself just like the original suit. 3. The Boomerang Suit. It's very similar in nature to the hammer suit. You can still crouch and be protected and not get hit by fire. And if you throw your boomerangs, I'd recommend choosing this power-up over the hammer suit because you're more likely to hit the enemy, and if you spin jump, it's very helpful, and you have even more of a likely chance to hit 2 enemies near you, or 1 maybe. So I choose it over the hammer suit personally. 2. Super Leaf. It was planned to be in the game in the beta, but was scrapped sadly. It's basically the same exact thing as the original suit, as what you would expect. You can build up speed and stuff flying in the air. After a few seconds, you'll start to fall down. You can still whack your tail and everything. So it's basically the same thing. I found it to be more useful than the other powers I've talked about already. And it's also actually better than the original because when you start falling down, you actually are still flying. You might see a difference on the screen if I edit that in. It's kind of hard for me to explain, honestly. 1. The Tanuki suit. It's the same thing as the Super Leaf, but when you start flying, in my opinion, your character actually soars up higher into the air, higher than the Super Leaf. So, you also have this other ability, of course, and you can turn into a statue and protect yourself from enemies and stop them. So with that being said, it's of course better than the other 14 power-ups that are already in this ROM map. Alright guys, so thank you guys for watching. Like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I think this video is going to be a kind of short one, so I'm sorry if you don't like the short videos. I don't know what the heck is going on. My videos have been shorter, so